Look, I moved my Gatorade.
I appreciate it. Hey, it looks like we're live. Sweet. I just hope that camera's got everything in the right direction because it should say Hornet, not 10 row.
It's the Rodette.
Yeah. Guys, thank you very much for joining me. Today, we've got the luxury of unboxing the Artillery Hornet. This is their newest offering to the 3D printing market. It runs around $250 US, I believe. This model here came with a US power cord from what the box says. Right off camera, I've got Calvin Witt, my good friend, partner in crime. And I want to give special thanks to Artillery 3D, to my friends over there. You guys, I really appreciate you guys sending this and giving me the opportunity to do this. And without any further ado, let's do this. Box, of course, is a fairly good size. Don't know the exact measurements. Don't have a tape measure with me.
Nobody knows, nobody cares.
Probably not. All you know is it's a box full of goodness. That's all you need to know. And, of course, we're greeted right off the bat by some nice packing material. Start throwing stuff around here just like what Calvin always likes for me to do. I have a little bag here that says Artillery on it. Got their symbol. And it's going to have, it looks like a, oh, it's okay. So we have an SD card. We have some extra wheels. It looks like we have an extra, that looks like a switch, a stop switch. We got some zip ties, an extra nozzle. And what is that? Is that a Wi-Fi?
That's an SD card adapter.
Was it SD card? Okay. SD card adapter. Of course, we got us some little wrenches here, a little piece of tubing, some little screws, which I'm sure we'll be using soon. Got us a printer cable, which I never use, and a very nice wrench, by the way. I'm used to seeing stamped steel wrenches. I am not used to actually seeing an actual chrome wrench that I would find in my toolbox. That is cool. It's an 8mm and 10mm. That is nice.
Keep that in your car.
I definitely am. That's a 10mm. Those things are worth their weight in gold right there, man.
Oh yeah,
Definitely worth it. And we have our documentation here. It's going to tell us how to assemble everything, I'm sure. Oh yeah. Looks like it's got some detailed instructions to it. We'll set that right over there. Looks like a spool holder. That is something I've never seen on an Artillery 3D product before. So this looks like a combination of a Teflon tube and a wiring harness. The light's not going to catch it, but there's little holes all the way around. It looks like for wiring pins. That is cool. I haven't seen a connection like that since I was on CB. That's the way the microphone used to screw into the side of the CBs. That is pretty cool. That's an interesting upgrade. We got us some more foam, little triangle piece of paper there. And let's see, I don't want to take anything out in a bad way here. This feels different. This feels way different. What in the world? What? Okay.
See what I mean by the Z-axis motors on the top?
Okay, so that cord came loose, so that's good. That's on top?
Yeah, like I said. Yeah, that's correct.
The Z-axis motor is on top instead of at the bottom. It almost gave me an aneurysm there for a moment because I was not used to that.
I told you it was different.
Calvin's like, that's totally different. It's totally different. You're going to be interested in this. It's totally different. I didn't expect that. Let's see here. How's the chat going?
Going good.
Cool. I can't even tell. Is there any volume? Because I'm not seeing anything moving on the screen now that I'm looking at it. Please let me know in the chat if the volume's working. If it's not, let me know in the chat.
Yeah, it's working.
Oh, thanks.
You're welcome.
I heard a horrible voice right then. I apologize. Okay, you can kill it now. I don't need to hear my voice. Okay, you can kill it now. I don't need to hear my voice. That is no lag at all. Why? That's like a 5-second lag or 10-second lag. Usually it's like 30-second lag.
Yeah.
Wow.
Hey,
And of course, we've got our United States 3-pin plug, aka, actually, that's not even the same as a PC cable anymore.
Really?
Let's look how small those are. Aren't they larger on the PC?
I think they're normal size.
Is it normal? Okay.
I mean, let me see it real quick on the Genius. I'll know real quick.
I'm just curious, because that looks smaller to me. I don't know. Maybe it's not.
Nah, it fits in there.
Does it? Okay.
Probably your brain.
Yeah, it's my brain. I'm not used to seeing that motor up there where it was at, you know? Okay, and then, of course, now we've got the body of the unit. So it's all pre-wired. Nice.
And an FYI,
nice.
The head unit is buried inside there.
Head unit?
Just pull the foam out.
Oh, is that what the label's for?
Yeah. It tripped me up, so.
So there's this little sticker right here, I guess, that is telling me to pull that out.
Here, I'll hold this. There you go.
Ooh, that is cool.
Yeah. All right, I'm going to stick the box outside.
That's all that's in the box?
That's all that's in the box.
Did you release your video yet?
No.
So Calvin,
it's still sitting on the
Calvin
camcorder.
also received one of these as well,
I mean,
and he beat me to the punch by a ways. So he already has one assembled over there. I did not study that one because I don't want to jinx myself. I want the full experience of putting this thing together myself. Of course, Calvin's going to speak up and tell me where I'm going wrong, I'm sure.
Everything is wrong.
You're all wrong, Jimmy. You're all wrong.
Everything is not what you think it is.
So, of course, it shows all the different parts, which we've already unboxed. On to assembly. Step number 1. Attach the XZ gantry to the notch in the base, then fix the gantry to the base with the 4 pieces of M-25 pre-installed in the base. Yeah,
they're in there.
They are in there. Wow.
Yeah, they really upped their game. I'm not kidding.
So, I don't know if you can see this on camera. The screws are already in there. How do they keep them from falling out?
Could be like an O-ring or just the way the holes are.
Okay. I was just looking at the power supply. I noticed that it does have where you can change the voltage from 115 to the 230 volt.
Yeah,
just double checking it, make sure it's at the 115.
I made mention of that in the video as a pre-flight check.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Okay. So let's see if I can do this without messing my brain up here.
If you need help, let me know.
That's actually pretty cool. And the question is, can I do this? So there's nothing holding that Z-rod at the base.
Nope.
So that theoretically should eliminate any Z-wobble, right? By having a loose. Of course, I'm interested to see what happens with it being at the top.
Yeah.
That kind of makes sense.
I mean, at the end of the other thing is you've got the whole assembly flipped backwards.
What do you mean?
The motor should be on the back.
Oh, see, I told you he was going to tell me I'm stupid.
Hey, it's only 4 screws. It's not that big of a deal.
And I only got one part way in, so that was the time to tell me. Of course, you were just going to let me do it, weren't you?
I was going to see if you noticed or not, but I will say it is a bit of a mind trip, so don't.
It is.
I think that's one thing I will say is maybe if they put a sticker saying back on it or something.
I'm also used to everything being on that side of the printer for the most part.
Yeah.
It threw me off.
Oh, good. Hey, it threw me off too.
And of course, I am looking at it from behind, but still, everything is usually on that side of the printer. Okay. Okay. That works. Everything will probably screw together a lot easier now. Okay. So this is my extruder over on this side, or the extruder on this side, right?
Yeah. Your spool goes on.
I don't want to get my head myself. I just need to put these screws in.
Yeah. Once you get the Z assembly, XZ assembly on, it becomes self-explanatory from there.
Yeah.
So,
how's the chat doing? How's everybody doing tonight?
well, you want to know who's in the chat?
Yeah, who's in the chat?
We got Vince, we got Teresa, we got Paul, we got ASMR Variety of Topics.
Nice.
Somebody new.
That's a lot of new people, it sounds like.
We got Rover as usual. We got some
Rover.
dude named Vincent.
Nice. Thank you guys for joining. I sure appreciate you joining.
This is a last minute.
This was so last minute because I honestly was not planning on doing this tonight. I kind of changed my mind about doing it tonight. I was going to wait off. Between work and everything, I've been really, really busy. So I was like, do I really feel like doing it? And then last minute, I'm like, yeah, I think it better because I honestly don't know when I'll have another chance to do it.
Yeah, it's now or never.
I am taking some time, taking a week off, like in 2 weeks, but I did not want to wait that long to do this. Okay, so we've got that one. Oh, come on, get there. Let's get that one in a little bit further. And now get this one in place. I hear a lot of typing over there, Calvin. What's her name? Okay. Okay, it feels like I got that one started. Nope. Yep. Yeah, it started. That's all I need. So I'm going to, forgive me for doing this to you guys, but I'm going to face it toward me so I can get this done because I love trying to set these up in a timely manner, but also to do a first print on it if possible so we can just see how the printer does in real time. I used to try to do videos where they're all edited for this kind of stuff, but I think it's more fair to everybody if you actually see firsthand how long it takes to assemble something. And this is always the most awkward part.
Yeah.
It's always the most awkward.
It is the most time-consuming part of the whole thing is screwing the 4 stupid screws in.
Right? Because there's always one that never wants to go in.
And then you back and forth, back and forth.
Back and forth, trying to loosen a little bit, get it situated so it goes in. And I can't tell if that one's going in yet or not. I don't think it is. And I hate that when that happens. I think what it is, it feels like it's in it, but it's not. Why? It's straight. It's with it. Okay, let's just see if this other one will do its thing. Okay, that one I think is going in. Yeah, it's going in. So why is this one up here giving me all this trouble? Why? Oh, there we go. It's going in now. Just had to change the position just a little bit. Let's see. You doing good in the chat?
Oh, yeah.
There we go. Okay, we're getting it together now. I just want to get them bottomed out, and then I'll turn the wrench around the other way, tighten them up. After I drop the wrench on the floor.
I did that about 10 times in my video.
Did you?
Yeah. It's the special dropping kind. Oh, Jake from State Farm's in the chat.
Sweet.
So, Jake, are you going to sell us some insurance for this printer?
Actually, I need some insurance.
Which kind?
Travel trailer insurance.
Gap insurance, renter's insurance.
Got the gap insurance. Got the gap insurance. Just need regular insurance now. There's another video coming out soon, hopefully. Hopefully I can. I would love to be able to just get the videos I already have recorded, get those edited and get them up. I have just not had any time to do anything.
Well, when we get off stream, I've got some ideas because I have class that day, but it's not until later in the day. I could always help you film some of the trailer if you needed it.
Oh, that's cool. Okay. Gantry is in place. What time did we start the stream? We started at
8:45-ish.
What?
What
kind of witchcraft is this?
Do you need help? It's a little tricky. No, it goes on the...
I know, that's what I'm seeing. I'm not used to an artillery product having a spool holder in a different location than right up here. And usually it's the two runners, you put the spool up on top.
Not my favorite.
I'm not used to this.
It's a little tricky, so give it a sec.
It's not too tricky. Now, do I need to put a screw in it?
Nope, it just snaps in
It
place.
just
It
snaps
just snaps in place.
in place.
It is low tech, but I love it.
Okay, that's cool.
You're great.
That is cool.
I wasn't lying when I said last night at dinner that they really did some things right on here.
That they did. That's pretty cool. Okay, so now I'm going on to the wiring, it looks like. So it looks like there's a wire that came up. Okay, I might need your help on this one, Calvin.
That's the Z-axis switch.
So it goes to this wire or to this wire?
To, which one is it?
So it looks like by length, I'm guessing it's going to go to this wire.
Yeah, because those are the right connectors. This is your stepper motor. No, wait, not your stepper motor, never mind. This.
So we have a stepper motor up here, which
right.
I'm guessing.
This runs
No,
to
that
the.
doesn't go there.
This runs to the home switch.
Oh, gotcha.
Then
Okay.
this guy plugs into the harness. I
Oh.
think it goes the other way around. Yeah, like that.
Okay. So what it is, this connector comes right up under here. Am I at the right connector?
Yeah.
Am I the right way around?
Drop everything like a Linus
I
again.
should have brought my glasses out with me. I should have done
Do
that.
you need your seeing eye surrogate?
There it goes.
Oh, there you go.
I just had to get the light where I could see. Okay.
And then all you have to do is hook up the tube between there. Oh, you need to install the extruder head. We're getting ahead of ourselves, Calvin. Okay, I'll back out.
Let's see here. I'm trying to go by the instructions here. So yeah, we kind of went past a lot of the wiring, which that for the most part is self-explanatory. But okay, so now we are to the head. Install the hot end.
We got Jeff in the chat.
Jeff, what's up? Hope to be coming your way soon, my brother. Hope to be coming your way soon. We'll see, though. Okay, so we have that. So I'm guessing that's what these wheels are for?
The 3 tiny screws.
Okay, let's dump our thing out here. These 2 wheels, right?
No, those are spares.
These are spares. Then how do these attach?
The 3 tiny.
Because I'm an idiot and I'm not looking at the gantry right there.
Yeah.
Okay, so here's
Snippies.
Snippy, snippy.
Snip, snip. I'll take those.
Thank you, sir.
Put them in the proper container.
I was going to say take the tweezers away, but the Verge might get upset.
Don't forget to do a dentist tech tips and put a bunch of yeast in the whole.
Thermal compound all over everything.
Or do a Lyle and have like 5 tubes of it.
Oh my god. Those videos are so funny. Okay, so I'm going to put that through there, right?
Nope.
Nope. Am I? Okay, I got you.
It goes through the hole on there.
This is what happens when you get old and you get blind.
Do you want me to do it for you?
No, I got it now. Now that you showed me the way, Calvin. Thank you.
That's why I put mine together the other day. Well, the more reason why I need to do my video.
So this is a very easy hot end to remove from this plate, because you have any problems with it, you can just tear the thing down and do it on the desk instead of trying to do it on the machine.
Or if you really wanted to, you could even have various sizes set up.
Yeah.
And just, it all depends on what your budget is, but you could very easily just pop a different head in there if you needed to, say for like a school or a makerspace.
Okay, Mr. You can pop another head in there. How much is the head?
That I need to figure out.
I wish that that was a little bit longer, so a person could be past that. Okay, so we got that one, we got that one. So I'm guessing there's going to be another one underneath, maybe?
Nope, that's it.
Nope, it's just going to be the three top ones.
Just the three top ones.
Okay, not that you necessarily need more than that, because
I mean, the one
you're not pushing down on anything, so technically you wouldn't have to worry about any wiggle that way. So that makes sense. Plus, the plates are pretty heavy. Those are very heavy plates compared to what I thought it would be.
I mean, the one thing I will say is you might want to occasionally check the screws to make sure they didn't wiggle loose, but that takes like 3 seconds.
What kind of witchcraft is going on here?
What do you mean?
Okay. Typically, the Teflon tube has to go all the way through the hot end and butt up against the nozzle. So whenever you tighten the nozzle, it puts pressure on the tubing.
Yeah. The way this works is, like I said, inside of the hot end is its own separate piece of PTFE tubing. That is merely just a guide. Yes, that was already asked. So make sure there is a alignment key.
Yes.
So let me help you with that. Did you get it? Okay. Let's check them.
Like I said, CB.
Making sure.
That is nuts. What kind? So does it leak?
No.
So how does it seal off?
Like I said, it's a separate piece of PTFE.
I understand it's a separate piece, but how do you keep the hot zone down there and not?
It's because the way it's designed, there's a part that holds the hot end PTFE in.
Yeah.
And that you could technically run the thing without that there. It's a little confusing to explain. I'm gonna put it that way.
Okay, so it says to check the tension on everything. I'm guessing this is the belt tension here. That's pretty cool.
Very nice touch.
So how do you tighten the tension on this belt? Is there a way?
Probably the same as you do with just pulling the plate.
It's just got zip ties on the bottom plate, which is fine. I mean, it's not loose.
No.
I just was thinking, you know, since there's a tensioner up here, if there's a tensioner down there, that'd be pretty cool. So we're what? If I wasn't on camera, if I wasn't an idiot,
15 minutes, if that.
15 minutes to assemble a printer. You know how long it took me to assemble this printer?
15 hours?
8 hours to assemble that printer. 15 minutes. And for less money than what that printer cost me back in the day. That was $330 back in the day from eBay. This is a $250 printer.
Thereabouts, yeah.
On their website.
Well, on the artillery website, they're saying $250.
$250.
But the thing is obviously, depending upon who you get it from, will vary the price a little bit. But if you're doing it wholesale, obviously, it's going to price.
I'm the type where if artillery sends me a printer, it's artillery's site is one I would personally go to.
Yeah.
Because to me, they are the company that's going to back this product. And if you go somewhere else, who's going to back the product? That's my, you know, forgive me for putting it that way, but that's the way I look at it.
No, it's fair because a lot of people buy through other websites and may or may not have issues, and you get the idea.
So they give you the wrench, and here in the instructions it tells you use the wrench in order to adjust the tension on everything. You know, make things a little bit tighter, make things a little bit looser. Like that. I'm going to loosen that just a little bit because it was just way too tight. Same way with these.
Oh gosh, chat's going like.
Actually, no. You know, it feels pretty good. Everything's touching. Nothing is rolling kind of odd or anything. So I'm just going to leave it just like that. That's a cool wrench. That is cool. Leveling the bell plate. That's my specialty right there.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's my specialty. Right.
Okay, one thing I will say off camera here is there's the two styles.
He's going to say something off camera, on camera.
Whatever. My yappy head's not in the shot. There's the two styles of bed leveling. There's the original 4-point and the 9-point mesh. Just do the 4-point.
Yeah, we'll figure it out.
Whatever.
Okay, so we're going to plug this thing in for the first time.
I'm going to shield my
got it
eyes.
turned off. No, this isn't that printer.
Sparks. Oh, never mind.
And we've got the artillery logo came up. Nice. I love it when a printer just starts up. I love to see that. So this got a 110 volt bed. So we're not dealing with a 12 volt or 24 volt. It says right there 110 volt bed. That's what it says right there on the sticker.
I'm looking at the.
You can look all you want, but I'm looking at the sticker.
I think that means the voltage of the machine.
You think so?
I'm 99% sure it has a 24 volt bed because it don't heat up like a 110 volt bed.
Really?
Really.
Because it says
It's
right there.
It's a DC heating plate.
So why does it say 110 volt?
Because that was what the machine was built for.
Okay. Got my hopes up. Got my hopes up. Then again, I got to look at the price point too. Yeah. We're not dealing with a $500 printer. We're dealing with a $250 printer.
And for a build plate of that size, honestly, a 24 volt heats it up pretty quick.
What's the official build size of this plate?
I'm getting there.
Give us the total dimensions.
220 by 220 by 250.
220 by 220 by 250 tall. That's pretty good build volume for that price.
Yeah, it's probably about the same as a Genius, give or take a little bit. So, I will say though, I really, really like the aluminum and glass beds over just the straight glass. That's personal taste.
I'm going to preheat the PLA temperature, so it's going to be 200 degrees on the nozzle. It's going to be 70 degrees on the build plate. And I mean, we could start a timer if you wanted to. It's 9:10. It's heating up pretty fast. We're already at 30 degrees on the build plate. We're at 63 on the nozzle, 70 on the nozzle, 77 on the nozzle, 80. Yeah, the build plate, you're right. It's heating up like a 24 or 12 volt. So it's 24 volt?
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, it is heating up slower than it would on one of the other units.
But quite honestly, it gets to temp and holds temp pretty well, so it's not that big of a loss.
I've never seen that though. That
is clever.
That's the one thing about artillery that impressed me back with the Sidewinder was the fact that they use the ribbon cables in a way that I'd never seen done to make a cleaner installation. You know, just look cleaner on your desk.
It is a lot cleaner.
This right here, though, that changes the game right there. I don't know how to feel about it just yet. I think it's going to be cool, but at the same time, it kind of surprises me. Okay, so we're at 202 degrees on the nozzle already. We're at 50 degrees on the build plate. Everything's warm enough for me to go ahead and do a level on it. He wants to do the 4-point or the 6-point level, all that. Me, I'm kind of old school. You know what I'm going to end up doing.
Just do the 4-point.
So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to look at this build plate, and I'm going to make sure that the springs underneath it are compressed. And as you can see, they are compressed. They're about 3/4 of the way compressed, which is where I'd like them being about 1/2 to 3/4, so that there's enough tension on those springs that as everything heats up, cools down, those springs still have enough tension that they're not changing on you. So that's cool. So now the next thing we're going to do is we're going to go down to, I'm guessing it's going to be motion, bed leveling, level bed. I'm going to grab my piece of paper that came with it. I'm going to set it on that build plate. And Calvin's going to tell me I'm doing it all wrong. That's all right. It says click to begin. Okay, paper's real loose, so I'm going to loosen that screw a little, or that righty tight, lefty loosey. Which way am I doing it? I'm doing it the right way.
Yeah.
Okay, we got some tension. We got a little bit of looseness. This one, we're just, you can hear it. That's all I want. Next position. I'm not really worried about that. I'm worried about that one. I'm just worried about right over the screws. That's all I care about. I'm loosening it up so it brings it up to the nozzle. They've had it tightened down pretty good. Hook it again. Once again, I don't care about that. Don't care about that. Don't care about that. I care about that. Right directly over where I'm going to be adjusting. Right, take left loosey. Move it so it just barely starts to grab. Okay, it's going to go to the center. Don't care about that. And go right there. Has a little bit of a grab, but not a whole lot. Oh, wrong way. Come on. Am I going the right way? Oh, I'm going the right way. Well, that's funny. It had a little bit of grab there for a moment, and then it didn't. There we go. It says the leveling's done. Leveling's not done until I go back to it one more time. So how does it give you an option between 4 and 9?
It's whichever setting you pick on the screen. I'm going to cover that in a future video.
Didn't give me an option on it.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, whatever.
Let's see. Tighten and loosen. Went the wrong way. There we go. Usually have to do this about 2-3 times, and then it'll be good to go for a while. Perfect. And by doing that, you start feeling tension all the way through it. So yeah, you can do the 9-point and all that, but all I care about mainly are those 4 points. Loosen it just a hair. There we go. That's right. You know what? 2 times, I'm going to call it.
Close enough is good
it's going to print. Okay, so now I have a 3D Benchy on here. It says it's going to take 59 minutes to print. I just sliced it and I cheated. I sliced it using the Artillery Genius settings. We're going to see if that actually works.
I mean, mine seems to be working.
You did it with the Artillery Genius?
Yeah.
I mean, build volume-wise, it's about the same, right?
Yeah. And it's looking good.
Does this already have something on it to print?
It already has their cube.
Oh.
And it takes about the same amount of time.
Oh, does it?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, then we're not going to worry about the. We're not going to worry about the cube. We're going to put a Benchy on here.
Benchies are superior.
Hit the eject. I'm going to take that card. I'll pop that card in here. Reinserted. Click it. Right from media. 3D Benchy. Oh, wait a minute. I'm being stupid. There's something missing.
Filament.
Something missing.
Go on the screen and it walks you through the filament loading. Do you want me to help you with that?
No, I don't want you to help me with that. Okay, well, maybe so. How in the world does this load up?
I'll show you. It's clever. Okay, I'm going to twist this so we can see the screen. They can't see it anyway, so.
It loads from underneath?
Yeah. Wait. It gets better. It gets better. I'm going around. Let's just go around.
See this underneath here?
I'm pulling it too hard.
I've never seen anything like that.
Okay.
That's just okay. That took me off guard. That's
Everything about this takes you off guard. Okay, so here's the thing.
Okay, tell me about the thing.
I'm on the screen. I'm going to go to change filament.
Let me go on here and see how much of the camera you're covering up. Okay, you're not bad.
I'm going to say load filament. So it's going to raise the head up.
Bring this back just a little bit. Wow, that washes out that camera.
So
that camera does not like the color yellow.
So now it's got the extruder spinning. So we're just going to take the filament. We're just going to load it into there. And it's just going to feed itself in. Now we've waited a little bit, so I'll show you what it does. It's really clever. So now it's waiting for the filament to purge. Mind you, we took a long time to get the filament in the tube, so it's going to take it longer to get there. But it automatically loads.
So how does it know when it reaches?
Because it knows the distance from here to there. So the idea is you have the filament sitting there right at the beginning. It gets the filament to about there, and then it feeds it in. So it's still feeding the filament.
Okay.
It's just doing it slowly.
It's doing it very slowly.
Because it's in purge mode. Now it's asking purge more or continue. So I'm going to press purge more, and it's going to keep loading the filament in at a slow rate.
So you don't have to do the arm, push it in.
It will automatically load and unload it for you. And I put that in quotes because obviously you have to be there to put it in, but it will feed it in and out all on its own. It's really clever.
Okay, that's.
I know.
That's witchcraft right there. I'm telling you, man. I'm telling you, man. This Hornet, it's crazy stuff right here, man. That's what happens whenever you're kind of out of 3D printing for a little bit. Wow.
There's a lot of features on this to do a video on. I'm not even kidding. I mean, the features alone.
The sad part is I'm going to have to learn all this all over again because.
It's a lot. I'm still figuring it out.
Okay, so for $250 printer, it self-loads.
I told you.
That is nuts.
Okay, just for the sake of time, I'm going to manually.
You're going to do what you told me not to do?
Well, I'm just going to.
Okay, so I see it coming out.
I'm going to tell it to purge a little more so we can get out everything that's in there. I didn't know how much farther it had to go. So just for the sake of not making this take an hour. I can't believe how
washed out that looks on the camera, though.
You need a better webcam.
I need to adjust it somehow. I just don't know how.
Your webcam is colorblind.
Well, it's got all this stuff going on. It's got yellow. It's got blue in the background. Maybe if I turn the light off. The light right here? No, this light.
No, I ain't going to make it.
It doesn't make any difference. If you turn on the black light, that would have to make it pop. No.
All right, now we got the filament. So now I'm going to press continue. Down. Okay. So now I'm going to go down to print from the media. We're going to do the Dana Lurie Benchy. Yes, I want to print it. It's going to check everything's hot enough, and then it's going to do it. I will say, though, I really like the belt tensioner that's built in there for the x-axis. Yeah. That's a nice touch.
It's a very nice touch.
I mean, it's honestly the little things like that which really are nice, especially on the beginner's machine.
The question is, with all the features it's got, is it really that much of a beginner machine?
I think the thing is it has the features there for more advanced users, but for those who don't want to get into that, they don't need to get into that.
Yeah.
I think it's there for people who want to dink around, but yet it's pull and go for those who aren't into that.
So they've got their proprietary anti-wobble bracket in place on this.
Mm-hmm.
The Z-Rod does not have a coupler or a bearing or anything at the very end of it, so it's going to be loose. they mounted the motor up here. They've got the coupler there where it can move and all that. It looks like it tracks perfectly fine.
Yeah.
This is pretty hopeful right here. This is pretty good.
See if it's sticking. Yeah, keep your eyes out because there's the blob from the purge.
The purge.
The blob might be an issue.
Think it will be?
It might.
Yeah, it's an issue.
I'm gonna stop it.
You know what we didn't do?
What?
We didn't clean that glass.
Oops. Hey, I got some alcohol here in a spray bottle.
What?
Yes.
Can you give me a paper towel or something?
Yeah, give me a year to find one.
Yeah, there's something we're forgetting. See, that's what I'm telling you. I've been out of it for a little bit.
It's okay. I'm tired and I'm not thinking straight.
Okay, go ahead and start the print. Should be good to go.
That's the world's fastest cleaning job. I love it.
Well, it's only going to be in the center. It's not like I need to take and clean everything. Teresa, such professionals. How you doing? Oh my goodness. This is pretty cool though. So we got a stop here, we got the stop there, and we got the stop there. So they went away from the magnetic or induction stops, and they went back to the switches, the micro switches.
Yeah, the thing is, the induction switches are about I think $3 to $5 on average, and these micro switches are like pennies on the dollar in comparison.
Well, honestly, I've always been a fan of the micro switches because you
can hear it clicking.
I don't know if I've ever had one fail on me.
Yeah, I think I've had one fail, but that's my own fault because I ripped the lever off transporting it.
Yeah.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I do like the inductive ones because they look really cool, but the problem is they're a lot more prone to failure.
I'm more about something that works the first time and every time than I am something that just looks cool.
No, I agree.
Now, mind you, this isn't a profile that was made specific for this machine. This profile is the Artillery Genius profile.
If it works, it shows how well it works.
Well, the part that threw me off is I sliced it before I knew how this gantry was set up. Because I'm so used to homing on this side. So the fact that it can invert or reverse or however the G code or however it does it is just insane. And it looks like we've got nice adhesion on the build plate on that first layer. It's looking good. So we need to bring that camera closer. How are we going to do this?
Do you want me to just put it on something?
Yeah, there's got to be a way of doing it. How can we do it? I wish I had a little tripod. Sometime I have to get a little tiny tripod.
Here, I'm going to lower it, and then we can bring the printer close.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Because yes, Teresa, we are such professionals.
Yeah, I love just moving everything by the gantry because
it
why not?
Gives me the willies.
Can you straighten it, please?
No.
Oh my God. No, the other way. A little bit more, a little bit more. Oh, there we go. Put that right in the center.
Yeah. Look at that.
It's still off a little bit, but I can actually adjust
this
this to make it look straighter. There we go. We're good.
Yeah, that's going down like butter.
Like butter.
Okay, I'll let you get over in the chat for once. It's your stream after all.
So, one thing I don't know if anybody has noticed is just how quiet the printer is. Now, we've dealt with artillery printers in the past, so we're kind of used to it. But even the fan it seems like it's a quieter fan on this particular model.
Well, I think quite honestly, the loudest thing on here with this giant table that acts like a drum is the fan.
I mean, there you go.
Yeah, that is You could sleep next to it and forget it exists.
That's 4 inches from the fan right there.
It is crazy.
That's pretty cool. Oh, well, now that it's all about the printer, let's just let the printer do its thing. Let's go over here and look at the chat.
I'll let you actually do the chat for once, because it is your stream after all, my man.
I sure wish that camera would show the yellow, though. That's a cool yellow.
I love the yellow, and quite honestly, the
Too.
aesthetics of the head are awesome. Especially, also note the 2 cooling fans on there, so you get more consistent cooling.
Okay, so by now we should be to the point where the fans should be running, right?
Yeah, it's
Yep.
going.
Yep, they're running. Sweet. Let's see here. It's just like, Filament! He's all screaming at me. What are you doing trying to print with air? It's the new way, Jeff.
It just materializes out of nowhere.
Oh, goodness. Teresa loves the money shots for the first layer porn. I wish we could have got that first layer a lot closer up, though. That would have been pretty cool. Yes, Paul, it is a nice one. I did not expect this. I was contacted, what was it, a week and a half ago? And it was pretty much, hey, here's a tracking number. We're sending something to you. I'm like, really? I quite honestly thought everybody kind of forgot about me. And the way work has been and everything, I just kind of just let everything go. And I figured when I got back to the 3D printing, I'd get back to 3D printing. I honestly did not expect this. And I definitely want to thank Artillery 3D for reaching out to me and doing that, because if it hadn't been for that, no time I would have been making the next video.
I would have stuck you in front of my Hornet so you would have done something, but no, I might have sweet talked him a little bit into getting you one, so that way you can get it.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, thank you.
No problem. Hey, Tracy misses you, so.
I miss Tracy too.
She
It was, I believe it was Lena that reached out to me.
Yeah.
Thank you, Lena. I sure appreciate it.
I spoke to Tracy and then Lena contacted me, so.
They're great people, that's for sure.
Oh, yeah.
They're always very responsive, and that's what I like about companies. Whenever you go and you reach out to them and they reach back as soon as possible. That's what makes a great company to work with. And I have yet to have them ignore me or not answer a question if I had one. They're always right there, Johnny on the spot to answer and help out.
Unlike some brands where it's like you buy it and you're on your own, they actually.
Well, some brands that depend mainly on Facebook to be their support group, and they are hands off. But this company, they're hands on in the group too.
Yeah.
So if there's an issue, they always jump on there. And the filament we're using at the moment is the G-Tech, I believe it's the copper silk, if I remember right. It's got a beautiful tone to it. If I had done my Bernie Sanders video like I was supposed to, you'd see how it was, but I never did get that video up. But let's just say it really prints nice.
It's got a nice look to it.
Only Bernie's glasses would have turned out. I need to reprint him on this printer. That's what I need to do.
Yeah.
I need to reprint him on that printer and just see what happens.
Well, the other thing is, I think print orientation, if we kicked him back a little bit, it would help.
Like, had him at what, 45-degree angle? Where he's kind
No,
of
that one,
like
I think that one was printed vertically.
Was he vertical?
I'm pretty sure. You can look at the layers.
I like, well, then again, I was having problems with getting the support off. So, yeah, I turned this one up for time constraints because the Benchy is going to take an hour. So I cranked it up to, what was it, 85 millimeters per second for the main portion of it. I believe the outer wall is, I think, 65 millimeters per second.
It's pretty speedy for a print of its size.
Right, and then I've got the movement at 100 millimeters per second for non-printing moves. So yeah, I've got it cranked up pretty good. So we'll see how it turns out. Definitely, if it doesn't look the greatest, it's probably because I did not set anything particular for this printer. Not even the build plate size. I didn't even set. The only thing I did change is I changed the retraction, because typically on a Bowden setup, you want to have more retraction than you do on direct drive, like the Genius. So I went from a 3 millimeter, I think, to a 5 millimeter retraction distance.
I honestly run much less retraction than you do on mine, and I'm actually just for fun running my Hornet with the exact profile that I use for the Genius, just for fun.
So did I tell you I got my first COVID shot yesterday?
How you feeling now?
Feeling a lot better. Last night I was feeling pretty rough.
So I know after dinner you were like,
even today at work I was not feeling right. But tonight I'm feeling a whole lot better.
Well, that's good to hear.
My arm still kills me though. Still feels like somebody's been pounding me in the arm. But other than that, not bad at all. Now we'll see what happens when I take the second one. That's when I hear it really gets you. In fact, I requested the day off to get that one. I think I might request the next day off.
I would just to be safe.
Yeah, just be on the safe side.
Some people have symptoms like for about 1 to 3 days at times.
Yeah.
I'm not holding my breath that I'll be able to get anything anytime soon, just given the fact that there's so many people who still can't get an appointment period, even if they're in a group.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of like, you know what, I'm just going to hold off.
See, this is a USB SD memory card reader.
Yeah.
That is pretty cool.
Yeah, because not everybody has an SD adapter.
That's what they like about this computer, is it's got the SD memory slot in it.
Yeah. Not all of them have that, so.
Hey Jeff, which one did you get? Did you get the Moderna or the Pfizer? I got Moderna, is the one I got. Everybody says that one will knock you for a loop. The second one. Being Meg said that the second shot had nothing but the sore arm. That's good.
Well, I mean, Beth was feeling perfectly fine after hers.
Okay, so Jeff got the Pfizer. Cool. They just started giving out the Johnson & Johnson here in California, I believe, today, because they lowered the age restriction. So now I heard that Gavin Newsom got his shot today. What?
Nothing.
Down, Calvin. Down. Calm down. It's all good. We don't hate up in here. It's all nothing but love.
Okay, Snoop Dogg.
No hate and discontent up in here. Come on.
Good too. I'm not going to say it out loud right now.
I think you already did. Who do you make as a firefighter, paramedic? So far, first tier. Awesome. So he got the Moderna one. Sweet.
I mean, in one sense, I can understand people being a little apprehensive when it first came out, but at this point, it's kind of like I've yet to see things that would tell me that if I get it, I'm at a high risk of keeling over from it within 15 minutes.
Hey, Rover is saying that there's a JG Maker giveaway. Yeah, have them post it. That's fine.
I've got enough printers as is, so I don't.
Yeah, we can post it in the chat. Let everybody go for it. Share the love, man. There it is. I may or may not have saw something on the artillery page today that piqued my interest.
You say?
Yes. It was a very interesting design on a 3D printer. One that I'm very familiar with. Like Harry Lion familiar with.
Oh, you mean your Harry Lion video got posted on there?
No. Take a look. Go to the Facebook page for Artillery 3D and take a look at the printer that somebody posted a picture of.
Which one? Just the general page?
Yes. When I saw that, I started drooling because it's my favorite format printer. It's the one where the plate goes down as you 3D print. I absolutely love those printers for time lapse. I love them. I have never understood why they haven't become more popular than they are, because they are a box format.
Yeah.
They're indestructible, you know, and not to mention they're beautiful on time lapse because the way the deck just drops.
The stupid algorithm is not showing you what you're talking about, but I understand what you mean.
I saw it earlier. No, maybe it was a fake deal. But I want to say it was yellow and black too.
It's April Fool's, so I'm really not going to believe anything I see on
Oh, that's right. I forgot about that. It probably isn't. No, they got to do it though. They got to do it.
Because I will be honest though, I do like the ones where the bed drops just because or doesn't move back and forth, mostly just because it's less strain on the cables and stuff.
Yeah. No, it had to be real.
Who knows?
Lena, if you are on here by any chance, could you please confirm or deny that there is a new printer that's going to be coming out? Because if there is,
please send one.
I would love to see how big it is. I hope it's like a 300 by 300. The 300 build Z. That would be awesome. Oh my god. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm trying to look it up right now.
Well, I mean, I will say that Ashley got an Ender 5, and it's been kind of a start and stop experience with it that way.
Really?
Yeah. She went to change out the nozzle to a 0.6 because for some reason they thought it was a good idea to ship it with a 0.4. Even though it's such a big machine, it's kind of like...
I forgot to ask you, this is a 0.4 millimeter nozzle,
yeah,
right?
0.4 is default.
Okay.
It's like if you have a giant machine, it makes sense to at least put a 0.6 in there because you can at least go about 50% faster.
Yeah.
Go from there.
I'm not seeing it. There's probably April Fool's.
Yeah.
Got my hopes up too.
That's why I'm so cynical, dude. I'm so cynical.
That's why you're such a hater, huh?
Yep.
That's why you're such a hater. Yeah, I'm not seeing it. Wait a minute, there it is. The X2. That's got to be fake.
That's fake. That dude's kind of a troll.
Is he?
Yeah.
Yeah, because I don't see a gantry on it or nothing.
Yeah, it's just a render.
Artillery, though, if you ever decide to, please make it happen. I hate April Fools, man. I hate when people do that stuff.
There's a time and a place when it's funny, but when people like, good example like you who don't know any better see that and think it's legit,
yeah,
it doesn't do the company any good. I'm surprised companies haven't in the past sued for libel over that. But, oh well, I'm not a lawyer.
Yeah, it looks like Paul's just dipping out. Have a good one, Paul. Nice to see you. How far along are we on that print? Does it give you any indication on stuff?
Yeah, it is 18 minutes in, and well, still got a little ways to go. It's probably about a quarter of the way there.
Does it give you a percentage or?
No, it just has the progress bar.
Oh, okay.
Now we're at 19 minutes in, so.
So we got about another 45 minutes.
Yeah.
That's not bad. So far, it's looking straight. The lines are looking nice on it. Do we have a? We don't have a light we can shine underneath it, do we? Make it show up a little better on camera. Tip that light down. Let's just see if it lines or what. Yeah, it's not. Oh, there we go. That's looking better. That's looking better. It's a good close up.
It's a little tricky.
I know. Let's see if I can.
You got the mount in there, so.
Take it right up there to it. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that. Respect it. That looks good, man. That looks good right there, man. It's looking good.
Oh, did you see that? Linus posted an April Fool's video where he was talking about starting an OnlyFans page.
It wouldn't surprise me if he did.
And then I guess they made a legitimate link for it, just to keep the joke going. And I guess a whole bunch of people actually signed up for it.
Can't go back now.
They just need to put Dennis on there doing stupid stuff, and I would totally.
What they have to do is take Dennis and have him do the deep fake. Have Linus's voice and Linus's face on his body.
Have them switch roles so Dennis is so Dennis is yelling at Linus, not Linus yelling at Dennis. Although, did you see Dennis's Intel rig reboot video?
No.
It is hilarious because he totally just pimps his house out. He gets like massaging chairs and like massaging this, massaging that.
God.
He even gets this big old sign that says like fake neon sign that's like an LED sign that says like live laugh loud, which is his last name. Everybody's like, Linus is like, seriously, Dennis, you spent your money on this? Really? He's like, yeah, I did. He was having so much fun trolling Linus. It was so great. Oh, it was great.
Bill's up in the house. How you doing? Thank you for joining.
Ashley is jealous that we both have Hornets.
Oh, really?
Yeah, she really wants one. I keep
Very
asking
nice.
her where she's going to put it though, but she doesn't answer that question.
I mean, I want to throw a lot more prints at it and everything, but so far I'm liking what I'm seeing.
Yeah. I mean, I'm really curious because I'm doing I think it's Paddle Steamer Benchy Remix, which has got a lot of. Oh, I'm doing this guy on my machine, just using the exact same profile that I run for my.
What printer has that been on?
I did this one originally on there, but I didn't have the settings where I wanted them.
We did that on
The Hornet.
the Hornet.
The Hornet.
Why don't you put that on camera and show what it did?
It's not perfect. It needs some tuning.
What's wrong with it?
It's not perfect. I didn't calibrate my E-steps and flow.
Oh my god.
I'm
You're one of
joking.
those.
I'm
You're
joking.
going all railcore on us now, or what?
I'm joking.
Going all railcore on a $250 printer. I only do my stuff with metal, what do you call it, feeler gauges, and hey, that's not the right kind of feeler gauge right there, Calvin. If only your mother knew what you're doing to me right now.
Don't worry, I'll probably hear from the girlfriend later. Oh crap, she's in the chat. I'm screwed. Okay, I'm out of here. Bye, everyone.
Okay, you can pull your boat off there now. That's a cool boat, though.
You want to check it out?
Yeah. What filament's that?
That's just the G-Tech Gray.
Wow. What's wrong with it?
There's a little bit of...
Oh, the wisp between the...
That and the posts, you can tell, didn't have the best of extrusions.
But look at how tiny they are.
I know. What do
you expect?
I know, I'm being overly critical.
I mean, look at the fence around it.
That did good, and I didn't even have it oriented so it would have optimal cooling.
God, dude, that is nice.
What would be really fun to do...
It's not calibrated properly. I can do so much better than this. God. Dude, this looks really cool. That was this a first print?
That was like the second or third print I did. Because I did the first time I tried printing it. Also, I will say I had the nozzle a bit close to the bed.
Yeah.
So that might have slightly affected things. But I was still trying to figure out the leveling and all that stuff. So.
Man. No, for one of the first prints off of a machine like this,
yeah,
there's nothing wrong with that.
Okay. Because what I do want to do is a side-by-side comparison running, which is why I'm testing to make sure that the profile will work. I want to try running my Hornet next to my Genius and see how they both do on the exact same print running the exact same G-code.
Okay, let's go a little bit deeper into this Genius. What board does this one have?
That one has Artillery's new 32-bit proprietary board. That has, I believe, it's an 8-bit. So this one can do the processing a lot faster, so it can do things like linear advance and a whole bunch of other really complex stuff that one cannot do.
Okay, so
this one theoretically will print smoother circles than that one.
So what's the benefit of a 32-bit board over what, 16 or 8-bit or whatever it is?
It's an 8-bit. It's the processing power. Okay. When it comes up to a corner, it's less likely to overshoot. It can more accurately.
So it can come closer to a circle than it can just little squares all the way around.
Yeah. Now, mind you, a lot of that is dictated by the quality of the STL file that you put in.
Yeah.
But yeah, it should theoretically create smoother circles, have better acceleration and deceleration control.
Man. I mean, I realize the profile I'm using right now is just complete garbage compared to what it needs to be. And I'm seeing some stuff on it. I can tweak settings, print slower.
Yeah.
Probably print a little bit higher temperature, something like that, and make a better print. But right now, I'm just wanting to see what a first print would look like, just out of the box, using have a thrown together profile, like in this case was the Genius profile.
Just change the retraction.
Whole different machine, but
who cares?
Yeah, you're still putting plastic on the center of a plate, so.
I mean, if you listen though, you can kind of hear the motors accelerating and decelerating a lot smoother.
Yeah.
That's the 32-bit board in action.
Okay.
And that's something I can speak of with machining. With the newer processors on the machines, when you see them doing those crazy high-speed tool paths where they're taking off a little bit at a time, you need a really fast processor to make sure that it can accelerate and decelerate quick enough that it's not going to overshoot.
And this is what, a M8 nozzle?
It should be an M6.
Or M6.
I think it's an M6.
I know it's not an off-size nozzle. It looks like a standard size nozzle.
Yeah.
And of course, it's not the the volcano that I'm used to seeing on an artillery product.
Yeah.
And I also am looking at the heat block. The heat block is laying down like a normal.
Yeah, it's the normal stubby kind.
Yeah.
I mean, part of me wishes it had a volcano, but then a lot of me goes, you know what? Is it really?
And how about the upper portion of that? Is it a like a E3D type style?
It's their own proprietary heat block.
Okay.
So
is it square? Does it have vents on it, or?
It has vents on it.
Okay.
When the machine stops, you can take a better peek at it.
Yeah.
But for this application, I can understand why they would have to make their own, especially considering the way that they have the different tubes set up. Because that was a big question people had is, well, how does the tube in the cable seal against the hot end? And they showed a diagram where there's like a there's like a screw mechanism that holds the hot end tube in there so it's completely separate.
That's what my thing was how did they keep the zones separated if it's not? Because I'm used to having one piece of tubing running all the way through, so that as it enters the heat block and it gets in that melt zone.
Their tube runs the full length of the heat sink.
Okay.
So it's on the cold side where it makes absolutely no difference.
By a lot.
Yeah.
And it must have some pretty good cooling, so they're pretty confident it's not going to be molten out the top of it.
Yeah.
Squeeze it down through there.
Yeah. And
it's kind of like a toothpaste tube. You squeeze it, and it's going to kind of go back the other direction unless you twist it down. You know?
Yeah.
So yeah. So they must be pretty confident in the cooling.
Yeah.
That it's not going to heat creep on up into it.
Yeah. And also the thing is, it does not have an all-metal hot end, which, quite honestly, for a machine like this, that's not a bad thing. I do personally wish the Genius and the Sidewinder came with an all-metal hot end, being that they're a higher-end machine. But that's just personal taste right there, because everybody seems to want to run ABS for some stupid reason. So, because we're back in the 1990s, so whatever.
I honestly don't know how this is going to turn out. Okay, so I see it. I'm just looking at it. It looks warped on this side of it. But it's because it's already past that level of the boat. It's just bringing like the front portion of the sides now. On camera, though, it's looking really good. Kind of where I'm at, though, I just see kind of the light passing past an edge of it. So it's... It's insanely quiet, though.
Oh, yeah.
You could sleep in the same room with this.
Oh, yeah.
Have you noticed, and since we've been dealing with a lot of the newer printers, in the last year or so, have you noticed that you don't smell them like you used to? Used to, when you 3D printed, you smelt it in the room. You.
I think it's partly the material.
Is that what it is, material?
It's probably partly the material, because as time has gone on, they've probably figured out dyes and stuff and also they've gotten better with the feedstock. That's probably not as contaminated. Because I know back in the day, man, some colors would just smell horrific.
Yeah.
Which is why generally I want to print in a natural or something like a gray. Because I figured that was gray, or a white, because I figured that was least likely to have a bunch of junk in it.
Or remember back in the day, I'm saying back in the day, we're talking like 3-4 years ago, there was huge conspiracies about whether you could be in the same room as a 3D printer with the doors and windows closed, and how much particulate was in the air, and if it was going to kill you or cause cancer and all that.
Well, I mean, the one thing...
And I do know at that time you could smell it a lot more than you can now.
Well, the one thing I will say that I found interesting about the particulate people was when you really looked who was behind it, it was all the companies trying to sell enclosures with HEPA filters.
True.
So I'm not saying that their science was flawed, and I'm definitely not saying that there couldn't be junk that's getting released. But the other thing is, nobody ever thinks about the carpet, their phone case, their computer, all that stuff, which is releasing crap as well. So it's
Chip Bills wanting to know how quiet it is. Let's stick it right down there. I don't know if you can see where the microphone is. It is, what, 4 inches from that fan?
Yeah.
So there's a intake fan right here at the back of it, right here by the microphone, and that's the loudest portion of the printer. And I'm looking at my task cam, and I see it registering, but I also see when we talk, it's above that. And I'm back away from the microphone, what, 3 feet? At the back side of the microphone on top of that. So I'm not in the best position for anybody to be hearing me right now. But if you come up here to everything else, I think I hear the spool rolling over the plastic holder more than I do the printer. Every so often you'll hear a click. It's the plastic working its way against each other. I do like that spool, though. That's a pretty good idea.
Very good idea.
And that also reduces the weight on the gantry, which has got to help the print quality.
Yeah.
You don't have all that wiggling around happening.
Well, one thing I will say that I've noticed is, if your spool doesn't roll perfectly up there, no matter how much bracing you have, it will. If anything, it's going to tweak the head.
Yeah, it's going to wiggle.
Yeah. So, I mean, I still use it because I'm mostly prototyping with my machine, so I'm not worried about perfection. But I do try and take it off when I can. Yeah. At the same time, it's just kind of. All right, you want me to see where we're at progress-wise?
Sure.
I'm getting hungry. Yeah, we're about
halfway.
Almost.
That's got to be more than halfway because it's going to speed up here pretty soon.
Yeah.
Once it finishes up the rest of the body of the boat,
It's going to
start going a lot faster.
Yeah. You're going to see how mine's doing.
Sounds like yours done. Oh, yours.
No,
I was going to say, it sounds like yours is done. I can't even hear yours.
Mine's like a quarter of the way there.
So his is sitting about, what, 10, 12 feet away from me, and I can't even hear it.
I mean, to be fair, we got the ceiling fan going, but...
Yeah. Yeah, I can hear the ceiling fan perfectly fine, but I can't hear your printer over there. And I can hear the ceiling fan over this printer here.
Yeah.
That's the insane part.
Yeah, no, I'm telling you, I initial impressions, this thing is seriously blowing me away.
Yeah.
When I say I don't expect a ton from a $250 machine, you kind of have to set your expectations accordingly. But from what I see, they really packed a lot into a $250 machine.
Well, the thing is, I base everything off of my original aluminum G-Tech printer. That's why I base everything off of that, because that printer not only is near and dear to me, it was my very first printer, and I know for a fact that thing took 8 hours to build. I did it on Valentine's Day back in, what, 2016? And at that time, that printer was a $230 printer on eBay with a free shipping. And fast forward how many years now? 5 years later, look where we're at. Yeah. You went from having an 8-hour project to 15 minutes.
And you're printing.
Let's say 20 minutes, including leveling your bed and slicing your first print in Cura and printing. 20 minutes from the moment you open the box to the moment you're printing. And for $80 less than what you could get at that time. And the build plate is what? The same size, maybe this one might be a little bit bigger build plate.
Yeah.
That's just insane to me that in 5 years, printers have come this far to where it's like you went from just having a kit to this.
Well, the thing that's interesting is you look at like my Ultimaker 2, which was my very first ever printer. the thing has about the same size build volume that this does, and yet this one costs like a tenth as much.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't regret buying my Ultimaker 2. It was a huge chunk of change. It's been a very good machine. I need to figure out what I'm going to do with it, if I'm either going to keep it or.
I remember when
Send
the
it
Ultimaker
along.
was that was the goal. That was
The
the
gold
ultimate
standard.
of all 3D printing was Ultimaker. As far as hobby 3D printing, I'm not talking, you know, your industrial 3D printing. I'm talking about at home hobby 3D printing. Ultimaker was the gold standard to go by, and now I can't say that as much. You know, can you justify a smaller print volume in a lot of cases at what, $3,000
Yeah.
compared to one of these smaller printers or a lower price printer that can produce the same build or the same print quality?
Yeah. Well, I mean, the one thing I will say is, you remember when we were at that event with Dave and Mara and everybody?
Yes, I miss them so much.
Yeah.
I miss that. I miss going to Autodesk. That was I think that was probably the pinnacle of my life right there, was when we went there to that deal that night. I don't think there's a whole lot that could really top that, because that was, to me, meant so much that I had the opportunity to go there and meet the people I got to meet, hang out with the people I got to hang out with.
In the environment that we were in.
Yes.
Well, I mean,
I would have cleaned their toilets if I could have worked in that place, because that was the most amazing place I have ever been in my life.
Oh, it was amazing.
That right there was like the pinnacle of it.
Well, I mean, it's like, the thing is, Ultimaker always kind of set themselves on going for the prosumer market, kind of like an office, a makerspace, a school, something like that.
Yeah.
And especially when they came out with their 3 with the interchangeable hot ends, the idea was, if anything went wrong, you could very quickly pop something out, pop something in.
Right.
And yeah, it's definitely a good design, but yeah, is it really? I mean, for the average person, it's way out of their price range. For somebody who works in an office or something where you need to get things done like that,
yeah,
you're also paying for, I will say, very, 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 very good customer support.
Yeah.
But you're also having to pay for Bob and Mary and Sue and Joanne to be there 5 days a week, 8 hours a day, to answer calls, emails, crown, shoulder. You know, having people sitting there to do tech support is very, very expensive.
Yes, it is.
Because all they're doing is sitting there typing and chatting on the phone, but they're also very important.
Well, plus, with their company, you've got people who are very knowledgeable about their products, compared to a call center where they're looking up pretty much like a Google search, telling you
they're using
how to
yeah
fix whatever your
they're
problem
using flip
is.
cards and
Yeah.
prompts and hi, welcome to
If the
fill in the
company
blank
didn't
tech support.
If the company didn't include that file in their packet, they
They're
obviously are
screwed.
lost. And it's like, okay, we're going to have to send this to this advanced team or the second level help desk team. They'll be with you as soon as they can. That's when you know you've kind of went past with the.
That's when you know you're screwed.
That's when you know the cue cards didn't cover something.
Well, I mean, with your daughter-in-law, I guess with her line of work, they use cue cards, or is it all baked in the computer?
I think it's all baked in the computer.
That makes sense, because it's probably faster.
Yeah, because I mean, even if you're trained and you're very knowledgeable about stuff, you can take and put something in the system that way. So, when a certain emergency comes up, you pop it in. It's going to give you, an idea of how to handle it.
Yeah.
And I'm guessing. I'm not for sure. I've never had the privilege of going and checking that place out, but I'm sure that's kind of the situation they have. And I'm sure that's the way most of these companies operate, as far as having it. So they put in like a search for a specific problem, and it's going to give them a general idea of how to handle it.
Yeah, and then you kind of just play 20 questions and
Yeah.
narrow it down from there.
Have you turned it off? Have you turned it back on?
You can try sticking your finger in it.
Pretty much that's like the first step on anything electronic is, did you turn it off? Did you turn it back on? Did you unplug it? Unplug it for 1 minute and then plug it back in. Let's go ahead and turn it back on.
Did you make sure the outlet even has power?
Yeah. Oh no, there's been a power outage.
Oh, my outlet. Oh, the
okay.
breaker tripped.
In that case, we need you to put that back in the box and return it as soon as possible. Is it that bad? Yes, it is. Just let them know that you're an idiot.
I mean, I can't say how many times I've asked on the page, like, did you double check the outlet has power? People are like, what? And I'm like, it's basic common sense.
Yeah.
Have you tried another outlet? Because yes, I can attest back to Grandma's wonderful place. There were outlets that you didn't exactly trust.
Right.
You know, it's just it's not a bad thing.
Outlets, when you go and you put something on it and something else is running, it's going to pop and break it.
Yeah. Yeah. I can't say how many times I'd accidentally have the washing machine, the dryer, and the light going, and then all be on the same circuit, and the furnace would try and kick on, and whoop, would go to the fuse.
Ewan's in here. Ewan! Long time no see. Wait a minute. I feel naked here. I feel something's wrong.
I think I have a charged battery down there.
I think it's right. I think there's something right over there, underneath your bag. Yes, I need that. I
think it's got power.
Does it have power? Yes, it does have power.
It has power.
Just for you, Ewan.
Stick them up, Jimmy.
I do have to say, in this situation, no drills are required.
I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing.
That's a good thing. How many pairs have I put together that I usually need a drill in order to get things to fit?
Doesn't their name usually start with a T and end with an O? Or is that like every other brand?
There's been a few brands. Usually there's been a few that require a little bit of drilling in order to make things fit. Yeah, this one went together, no problem at all. I had a problem with one little screw because it didn't push hard enough. But
that's small beans.
You got to screw with confidence.
My girlfriend's still in the chat and watching this. I'm sorry. This is Jimmy After Hours. It's after 10 o'clock, so anything that happens as well, it's going to be fun. Teresa's like, I better time you on out for fun. I'm like, okay.
Oh no! What are you doing?
Remember that time that I accidentally did that to my dad in the chat? I timed him out.
You didn't do that by accident. You didn't do that by accident. I still think you did that on purpose.
We will never know. This is what happens when you have too many people in the chat.
With all wrenches.
Everybody just abuses their wrenches, and it just turns into a giant timeout fence.
I don't even have to say anything to set Jimmy off now. Oh, goodness. The good old days.
Everybody just put in the chat. Great.
Oh, no. This is Jimmy after 10 p.m. Don't worry, they'll demonetize this video by morning. No, I'm joking. We haven't been that bad.
Yeah.
So recently, some of my coworkers found out about my YouTube channel.
Oh shit! I remember the days back over at Sears when I come on in there and everybody would know that we streamed together and be like, "Hey, we saw it the other night." And I'm like, "Oh shoot!"
That's one thing I've tried to kind of keep under the radar since I went to the new company. I've just like kept.
I'm not that guy.
All of a sudden, there's no mind off. Oh God, no.
So what they have to say?
Yeah, I'm sure they just think it's cute. Oh, Lord. I work with some great people, I'll tell you. Very cool people I work with.
Well, that's good. That helps.
Yeah, it does. Well, let's see. It's got to be speeding up.
Yeah, it's doing the tab.
It's looking really good.
Yeah.
I'm seeing a little something up here on the very front edge of it.
It could be.
Once again, the way the light's shining off it, all I'm seeing is the harsh edge. So I might be just seeing it wrong.
Like I said, I'm figuring out that this machine takes less retraction than you think.
Yeah.
So it could be due to that.
How much more time is left in the print, she's asking?
Well, let's go. Well, it says it's been printing for 49 minutes and it's about 3/4 of the way there.
Okay, it's a 59-minute print according to Kira, which Kira lies.
It's probably more like an hour and 15.
I don't see that. I want to be here for an hour and 50 for an hour.
I meant total time.
We started printing at what, 30-minute mark?
Yeah.
So
It's 49 minutes into the print. It was preheated, so it started.
Oh, that's
and
right.
went.
We were doing some other stuff on top of that because
You were leveling it hot. So.
I was leveling it hot, and we didn't clean the bed the first time, so it was not.
And the timer
Right.
resets every single time you
Right.
do anything. So.
Plus, I forgot to put filament in it. I was trying to print with air.
Great idea, by the way. Then we load up that glorious G-Tech copper silk filament.
Doesn't it look cool?
It does.
That's one thing I always liked about the Harry line is that I think that was with the bronze filament. I gotta get some more bronze filament somewhere. I do miss and that was the bronze hatchbox at that time. I do miss the MZ3D, but I don't know what's going on. I don't see it on Amazon anymore.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking they might have. They were talking that the sales in the United States were not that great compared to what they are in Canada and other countries. So they may just went and pulled out of America, which I couldn't blame them because there for a while I was the RA, the return department. That way they think that it's me return.
Yeah.
Just to keep from sent to Amazon and Amazon charging them to dispose of it, they were sent it to me to help me out with my prints, which I can't thank them enough because when we were doing those deals for the face mask, we went through almost all of it.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I printed thousands and thousands of those things and would just give them away. I didn't charge anybody for them. I just give them away because I freely received the filament, so I was freely giving it. All it's costing was electricity, and these aren't exactly power hungry units. I have 5 printers on this desk printing nonstop for seemed like forever. I think that's what happened. I think I just kind of got burnt out on 3D printing because of that.
I kind of know the same feeling because I kind of got roped into the whole printing up PPE stuff as well. And
Yeah.
I'm definitely not saying it didn't help, but the problem is everybody was buying up all the printers and filament to the point where I just was like, you know what? I don't know how long this lack of material is going to be, but you know what? I did my part, but I just felt like it wasn't worth, adding to the shortage if there was legitimate needs for filament.
Well, where the problem came in for I was just trying to get at with the MZ3D, the name is so close to what Amazon did.
Amazon Basics.
Amazon Basics filament. You'd be surprised how many rolls of Amazon Basics filament was returned as AMZ3D filament. And which means that they were dinging their company for filament that they didn't even sell.
Yeah. I'm surprised that Amazon doesn't at least ask for a photo of what you're sending back.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people have just abused. I mean, I was talking to somebody from, I'm not going to say the name of the company because it makes no difference, but they were saying that they were having problems with people buying their machine and then sticking like an Ender 3 in the box and sending it back, and they're like, that's not accurate, and Amazon's like, tough luck, which totally wasn't cool because people were obviously at that point scamming them.
Yeah.
I mean, it's frustrating, but
It's looking good on camera, man. It's looking good. This is 100% size, 100% the scale, the way that Daniel Norrie meant to be. I miss Daniel Norrie.
it was awesome.
We need to talk with him. I need to live stream with him again. I miss him.
I do too, but I can also understand why I kind of got burnt out and just left 3D printing, to be honest, which is a shame.
He hasn't left it, but he's, where he lives now, can you blame him?
No.
I mean, if you had your opportunity to work at a ski lodge,
I would do it.
oh yeah.
I don't like the cold very much, but I would totally do it, even just for a winter to give it a shot, because it would be pretty dope. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah. I mean, I don't blame him a bit. You can't ask for a better gig than what he got. Good. Let's look and see if there's any wisps. I think I got the temperature about right, because I don't see any wisps between the pillars. And the hole at the front of it looks round. It doesn't look oblong, so I definitely have it printed too fast. I can tell that.
Oh yeah.
The ringing in it.
But like we said, we're going for speed, not quality.
Yeah. Just trying to complete a print in
a reasonable amount of
time so I can get some sleep tonight before I have to go to work tomorrow.
Sleep? What's that?
The good thing is that I don't open in the morning, so
that's good.
I got time. It's not a. I had a couple appointments today. And thankfully they let me go and take care of what I need to take care of.
Yeah, I know I'm going to be working Saturday, but.
Are you?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm working through until I think Tuesday's my day off. And knock on wood, Tuesday evening, I'll have me a travel trip. And anybody who's watched my channel, you know that I bought a pickup. And the reason why I bought the pickup is because last year, whenever Beth and I went on vacation to Colorado, we wanted to go see family because we didn't know how things were going to turn out with the COVID deal and all that at the time. We didn't want to go back there, see family, just in case anything bad happened, that we got to see them, one more time. And we used the RAV4 to go back there. We went to Motel 6 all the way through because they're the one hotel chain that you can go to that you can take a dog with you.
And not have to film before.
We've got Precious, which is she's a long-haired Chihuahua Pomeranian mix. She's a good little girl, but a lot of hotels don't like animals. So Motel 6 was the way to go because they're pet friendly. So every Motel 6 we went to, I would go in with a can of Lysol, spray everything down. The bedspread, pull it back, hit the sheets, hit the pillows, hit the headboard, hit the nightstands, hit the floor, hit the bathrooms, the door handles, everything that was a touch point, anything that we would possibly be touching or being any part of, I sprayed it with Lysol, and then we would go and get something to eat at a drive-through so that we would be away from it for like an hour to let the smell kind of dissipate before we can go back in, because I did not want Beth catching that deal. I didn't want her catching it. So we were trying to be very safe about it. And then we were in Grand Junction at the Motel 6 there by the airport. And one night it was a good 95, 100 degrees that night. And not to mention we had the fires going at that time. They had 3 different fires going. Smoke was down in the valley. The air conditioning unit for the whole hotel went out. And here we were. You couldn't open the windows. You couldn't open the door because of the smoke. The only way you could get relief is if you went out to the car, turned on the car, and turned on the air conditioner. That was the only relief there was. Ooh. So here you were all night long, laying there with no blankets on, pretty much stripped down, trying to make it through the night because it was just horrible, humid, just nasty. And I told Beth, we've got to do something different next time. Now, we've got a motorhome, but it's a 94. There's certain cosmetic issues. Well, not so much cosmetic as it's become more cosmetic as far as the fiberglass and stuff like that, to where, no, no,
oh well,
no,
keep it going. Let's see how it recovers.
No, a failure. I can't blame the printer though. Although there is one thing I am noticing. Did you notice it's not doing any Z-hop? It's not Z-hopping.
Yeah, well, remember your profile was all jacked up when you went into it.
True. You know what? It's going to recover.
I figure let's just keep it going.
It's recovering.
Like I said, let's just see what it does.
He was like, first time I've seen that happen.
Live on camera. A miracle occurs.
Now, here's the most amazing thing about 3D printing. As many spaghetti failures as I have had, I have also had so many times where this very thing will happen to where something will break loose. And it's like, okay, how in the world did it recover? Here, look at it. It's recovered. And I have no doubts it will print the roof now.
Yeah.
It's insane.
Well, it's also a testament to the cooling as well. Because that bridged really good.
Bridged it.
That bridge
over midair.
It bridged really good for absolutely nothing there.
Anyway, getting back to the story. We decided at that point that we would like to get us a pickup and a travel trailer, because with a motorhome when we went back there, unless a family member loaned us a car or we went out and we rented a car, we didn't have any way of getting around without disconnecting the motorhome from wherever it was and driving the motorhome. And driving a 31-foot motorhome around town is not exactly the easiest thing to do when you're wanting to go get something to eat. And that's all you want to do is go get something to eat.
And then you got to try and find somewhere to park it.
Right.
It probably gets glorious gas mileage.
Oh, yeah. It's 10 miles to the gallon.
If you're lucky.
Yeah, it's 10 miles a gallon.
Okay. That's actually better than I thought.
But it just is, we decided to get a travel trailer. And that way you can disconnect from the travel trailer. You can lock it up. And then you can drive the pickup around town, go sightsee or whatever, and you're perfectly fine. So that's what the kind of the plan became. So that's how we end up getting the pickup. And then now we're in the process of getting a travel trailer. So everything pans out. Hopefully later on this year we can make another trip back there.
That'd be cool.
So right now we're just, our goal right now is to get everything set up, get through this COVID thing, get our shots so that we've got some sort of immunity to it before we plan on taking off and do that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Look at that recovery. Look at that recovery.
That is insane. It's almost like it never happened.
It's like an Etch-a-Sketch. It never happened.
Shaky, shaky, gone.
I do want to find out why the Z-Hop, why it's not doing it. So I got to go back. I'll probably just make a whole new Cura profile.
Yeah.
I'll probably download the newest Cura, create a whole new profile for it, and do something that way. But still, you got to admit, that's amazing to recover.
Oh, yeah.
I fully expected to break off the front ones.
Don't jinx
Which
it.
also makes me wonder if maybe I didn't have the heat high enough.
Like I said, I still think the retraction is a little long, because in my experience with it, it does not like a long retraction, even though it's a Bowden.
What Cura am I using? I am using an old one. This is Cura. Let's
It's old as dirt.
4.5. 4.5.0 beta version is the one I'm using.
Oh my god.
There it is. It's print the top.
Oh my
that's
gosh.
beautiful. It bridged it perfectly.
Glorious.
The cooling is amazing. That's pretty cool. So I see the fans are up at an angle. Oh, I see how it is. They got a back plate.
Yeah. The cover acts as
Oh,
a
so
duct.
they're blowers. They're not fans. They're blowers.
They're proper squirrel cage blowers, my man.
Oh, that's sweet. So it's got the dual cooling on it.
Which is part of the reason why it did so good on that recovery.
Okay.
Yeah. Because, I mean, the Genius and the Sidewinder have squirrel cage, but it's a single one, which some people like more than others.
It's a squirrel cage, but it's a single, and it's got that little where it only cools from one side. So that dual cooling, though,
yeah,
I'm sold on that. That's sweet. Okay, so now we're going toward the smokestack now.
This is where it all falls apart or works.
Man, that's cool that it bridged like that. I still can't believe it recovered.
This one would be a fun one to run like one of those extreme bridging tests on.
Yes. I'm sure you'll do that on one of your videos.
Probably. I mean, I'm not against running a test.
I have one I want to do. I want to do the torture toaster.
I'm working on that.
Yeah, I figured you would.
I don't know if I'm going to do that in the video or not, but
do it on a video. Are you doing it at 100% scale, or are you sizing it up?
I'm going to do it at 100% scale because when you start to size it up, some of the tolerances, yeah, so it's kind of cheating. I mean, there's nothing wrong with doing it bigger. If you scale it up 200%, then you know your tolerances are going to be 200 times. But I don't know. What I'm thinking of doing though for a video is doing like a large jungle boat, just because I think it's so cool.
Yeah.
Just because.
Daniel Ray, we got to talk to Calvin about this. He's fallen to the dark side. He's went to the jungle boat.
Hey, it's based on the OG Benchy, man. It's cute. I like it. Don't knock it.
But he's our friend. Why? How could you do this to our friend?
Because I have no soul.
There you go. I need to get the mug back. Where's it at? There it is. Okay, I just was looking to see where it's at.
Let me put some Diet Coke in there.
This my Daniel Ray mug.
Jimmy's having issues tonight.
Yes, and listen.
I know. We all know you two had a bromance. It's okay to admit it. So we're at 1 hour and 7 and we're almost there. I mean, technically the Benchies were released under Creative Tools, which is who we used to work for.
Yeah.
I mean, it's technically their thing, but oh well.
You think we'll be done by 10:45?
I think so. I'm gonna go water a tree real quick.
Go for it.
I'm starting to craft. I need to finish up my leftovers and go to bed.
I know. I need to go to bed too.
I gotta be up earlier than you, so.
What time you gotta be up?
I gotta be out the door by like 8:30. If I'm up by 8, I'm fine.
I'm aiming for getting up by 8:30. That way I'll still have time to take a bath out, grab a bite to eat before I go to work.
Sounds like a plan.
He was like, water a tree. Yeah, there's a tree right outside the door.
You want me to get the door open?
No, I'd rather not. hear it. That is insane. I honestly did not expect it to bridge over and finish out. I honestly thought it would break off and that would be the end of the print. I didn't expect it to recover. That's the amazing thing about 3D printing, though. It'll fool you. Failures like that can happen, and then you come in the next morning. It's like, how in the world did that happen? Very seldom you get to actually see it happen in real time.
Yeah, it's almost done.
They're gonna have to do the smokestack, right?
Yeah, but as far as the progress bar goes, yeah.
Oh, no.
Yeah, it's still in the smokestack, but
I thought it was gonna keep going that time though, but
it's like 95% there. Oh man, it's cold out there.
Is it?
Yeah. Oh well. Probably have to refill my propane on Monday. It's funny, I go to Ace and I got a hose from Mr. Buddy. It's like, oh, it's hot. I don't need that.
So the trailer,
Uh-huh.
everything goes through it. It's comes with 2 propane tanks, so 2 of the 5-gallon tanks,
The squatties.
and then it's going to have 2 batteries. 2 of the, I believe they're the Group 29 or Group 27 deep cycle marine batteries. It's got a hookup for a solar panel if you want to.
Nice. Don't give me ideas, man.
That's pretty sweet.
I was gonna ask, how do those LP fridges work that you were telling me about?
So the way an LP fridge works, it uses Freon, just like a normal refrigerator. So the whole idea is that it heats up the Freon in order to make it move through the system. And it's just weird. By heating up the Freon, the way it does, it has this little burner. It's almost like a pilot light, but a little bit thicker flame than just a pilot light. So it doesn't use a tremendous amount of propane, but it heats up the coil on the Freon, which causes it to move through the system. And I don't know all the particulars, but it pulls the heat from outside of the from inside the refrigerator out, making it colder and colder. And it's just nuts.
Well, I mean, it makes sense because you're expanding the gas and then you're contracting it again.
Essentially.
Yeah.
And so that's how that part. And so I'm guessing on the electric end of it, since it uses a heater, I'm guessing it's an electric heater because they don't have RV refrigerators don't have a compressor.
Like a normal fridge.
Right. They don't have a compressor. So I think it's going to be like an electric heating element.
So it's effectively a solid state fridge.
Yeah. And then so now a lot of travel trailers and stuff are going with a 12 volt. And as they were saying at the dealership, a 12 volt refrigerator doesn't work as good as a LP or an electric. But the cool thing about it is if you have a solar panel on your roof, essentially you can go out the North 40, not hook up to any power, and you've got your refrigerator running all the time.
Yeah.
Not worry about it. But the thing is, in order to run an air conditioner, you still got to hook up to electricity. So eventually, I got to figure out about getting a what do you call it?
Solar panel?
No.
Generator?
Probably a generator.
Well, I don't need anything.
Like a 3,000 or 3,500 watt, I think is what it would take in order to run a air conditioner. Because most of the time we're probably going to RV parks or something like that where you can plug in. But there's going to be times where if you're going out camping somewhere where you don't have power hookups, the only way that you can get cooled down would be to get the pickup or run a generator.
Okay, now I'm looking at how a propane fridge works. It actually makes a lot more sense now because you got the heater, And then you've got, at least in this case, you're using ammonia, but it actually makes sense. So it heats it up, then it sends it into the condenser deal, and then that's interesting. I mean, it's a unique concept.
There it is.
Wow.
Does it give a time on the screen as far as how long it took?
Hour and 13 minutes and 54 seconds. So an hour and 15.
So our 59-minute print, according to Kira, turned out to be that much.
Off by 16 minutes. Not
Yeah.
bad.
Not bad at all. I'll go ahead and power it off. Gotta let everything cool down so it'll break loose. But we don't have time for that. Please come off. Please come off. Please come off. Please come off.
Here.
Beautiful.
Good enough.
Okay. So this is the part I was seeing right there from where I was sitting. It was right on that edge there. So once again, this profile was not set up for this printer whatsoever. But look at the failure. I mean, the piece broke off and it turned around and bridged anyway and continued the print. Very detailed. We got the little porthole there at the front. They are round. Smokestack turned out great. It's got the little ribs on top for the roof. And if you look closely at the bottom, you can even see the branding down there. Got the little hole there. It's just, if only it hadn't broke off like it did. But the fact it recovered, I'm still shocked about that. That is cool. Anyway, there it is. So this was the Artillery Hornet. Once again, I want to thank Artillery 3D for the printer. I want to thank them for thinking of me and sent it to me and giving me the opportunity to work with them again. Thank you so much. And guys, I want to thank you for joining me. Thank you for joining me and Calvin tonight. Thank you for putting up with our antics and our stories and our jibber jabber. Please stay tuned. We'll be putting out some more videos soon of these printers doing their amazing prints, and I'm curious to see how they hold up. I've never seen an Artillery with a single lead screw before, so far so good. It's looking pretty good. Come up with a little bit better profile and share that along with you guys. But thank you guys very, very much. Appreciate all of you, and stay tuned. Give us a like, give us a follow, and see you in the next one.